And we're off to the races. By God Almighty, we're live.
We are live indeed. And this is not Raw. Something is about to be different going into the Ramblemania show. And this is a prime example of that
Not
change.
real.
8 point and goodies to all of you Ramblemaniacs and all of you BC aliens out there. And it goes a little something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Ramblemania show probably brings to you. I'm your former 11-time Ramblemania heavyweight champion, your then now forever Ramblemania hardcore champion. I am your villainous live man, Hazel the iZombie. Join along with me, as always.
It is I, your former 14-time Ramblemania champion of this, of that, of those, of all the realms, of all the lands, of all the universes. TJ the Great. TJ the Great.
This is our All Elite Wrestling Revolution 2024 live recap here on the Ramblemania show and on the Raw Zone NYC podcast as well.
Oh my
Katie
God.
will probably be joining us in a bit. She's recording SmackDown at the moment, talking about The Rock with crack, meth, and coke and all that good shit.
Now go home and smoke some more crack.
Damn straight.
He's still him. The Rock.
He is no, he is genuinely still. You want to do you want to talk about that segment real quick before we even talk about this show?
No, because I didn't even really watch it apart from those couple parts.
Yeah, that whole segment, again, overall, we talked about it on Rampage, but I figured we'd bring it up here. I don't mind that it's The Rock
The
cutting
Rock.
promos, but when you're the bloodline cutting promos that was basically taking over most of the first hour, and we're talking 35 minutes worth, that's a bit of a problem. And I
If I
get
was,
we gotta build story.
I gonna lie, if
I
I
like
was a
this
nigga
shit.
working there and I like to wrestle, like I like to get there and do my thing, and I fucking couldn't because The Rock is out here babbling for 35 minutes, and the bloodline is out there babbling for 35 minutes. I feel away, but it is
It's
what it is. They making the most money they've ever fucking made, right? So,
It's
you know.
yeah, no, indeed, they're making the most money right now because as of talking about this, the show that they did in Glendale, Arizona, actually sold out because The Rock being there. And
Hell
then
yeah.
this week they're going to be in Texas, and that's also sold out due to the fact that Cody and Seth are going to be there. They're going to sign the contracts to make the tag team match official for night one against the Bloodline of The Rock and Roman Reigns. You know, I don't want to go out of my way and say, yo, WWE looking interesting again, because that still wouldn't convince TJ to watch the fucking product. It wouldn't
Hell
convince
no.
anybody in the world that doesn't watch WWE to watch the product. But
um,
there is, you know, that turn of phrase. There is winds of change within this company, and it's showing little by little. Not everything is going to change overnight within this company. Again, they're still trying to clean out all the skeletons in Vince's closet within this company as we speak.
it's a lot.
And
It's a
it's a
whole
damn
lot.
lot. It's a goddamn lot. But again, with Mania now becoming the biggest attraction right now, being in Philly, the 2 night event, The Rock getting involved, and now more matches are being announced. This Mania is starting to look very, very stellar. All I'm waiting to see now is the rest of the weeks coming up is more build. But as you all may see, this week's edition of Raw Rants is not being recorded, is not being streamed.
I
I
don't know why
wanted to
we
do
even
some
talk about any of
I
that.
wanted to do something different, which was, post go home of the fucking pay-per-view that took place last night. I figured, what the hell? Let me give myself a break from Raw just to actually do this damn recap. And I think that's what I'm gonna be doing going forward whenever there's a pay-per-view or premium live event. I will, not live stream Raw and just focus on the recaps instead, so that we can get it also on the audio for all of you guys to listen to as well. Because I need to remind people we're a fucking podcast. We have to start acting like a podcast again.
Yeah, we putting in the work. We putting in the work.
But AEW Revolution 2024 took place at
Revolution.
the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Except we had Dasha on commentary, so no Justin for this one.
Yes, yes.
The attendance for last night's event was 16,878. The tagline for this was Steve Sting Borden's last match in All Elite Wrestling in his entire professional wrestling career.
Yes. And also
I
Justin
know,
was there. I just thought about it. He did the main.
yeah. Also, there were some more matches that took place here, but this whole show was mainly about Sting's retirement. They pulled out all the stops for this. They brought back Jim Ross. Tony Schiavone definitely had to be there because his time with Sting at Mid Atlantic Wrestling, NWA, WCW, all that shit. They brought in David Crockett, and so I don't know if this was before or after the show. So I think the owner of the Greensboro Coliseum presented Sting with his own personal baseball bat with his
Yes.
name engraved in it with the date of his final match, and they made it official. He has a authentic uh authentication form that was signed saying, making it official, March 3rd, 2024 will officially be going forward as Sting Day.
Yes. In Greensboro, North Carolina. Yes, they put over how much Sting had done for, Greensboro and how many times he had worked there in that building in the Coliseum. And like I said, many, many times over the years, a lot of times with Flair and, you know, many other people in many different scenarios. And the fact that he got to do it one last time here on this show, and we're going to talk about
Yeah,
one of the
that
best
whole
send
thing,
offs ever.
like even with Flair there, like I couldn't even shit on it because again, Ross, Crockett, Shivani, Flair, Sting, they all have history with each other. Again,
Mm.
Mid Atlantic, WCW. I'm gonna be
Oh,
bringing up WCW a lot because my history with this promotion when I grew up with it as a kid. Again, this may have been Sting's final match, but there were a lot of things on this card that were actually stellar, exciting, and worth watching again and again and again. Some people are saying that this Revolution was better than last year's, but that's other people's opinions. Will our opinion be different than theirs? We're about to find out as we go forward, talking about the 0 hour. We only had 2 matches here. Oh, and for once, Tony Khan does not have to pay for his fucking crimes. Even though it was still technically a
nah,
4-hour show and it
he
ended at midnight, we did get 9 matches overall on the main card. Stellar from like your usual of 11 to 12 on the main. So even for the 4 hours that we got, it still felt like a breath of fresh air because some things did feel paced out. There was a bit of a mishap that took place later on throughout the show, which if any of us will even remember to bring it up, we'll bring it up. But let's get underway with the 0 hour here at Revolution. And we are starting off with
this
the
man Chris
12.
Leclerc.
What's going on, Chris? Morning, good to see you. This is the 12-man tag team match. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang teaming up for the very first time since their formation to take on Team TNA of Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, with new members, Private Party, and I think their newest member since apparently I found out that they're auditioning for a third member. They
Yes.
brought in Willie Mack. This
Yeah.
match was 12 minutes and 25 seconds. Go ahead, TJ. Ramble on, man.
I mean, this was a fun little party gimmick for the pre-show. The most gift moment and of the match and will be probably going forward. Everybody doing the Fargo strut. Jared doing the Fargo strut in the ring, and the whole squad doing the Fargo strut on the outside of the ring. Me and the boys type shit. Just a stupid, fun heel squad match, and the Acclaim gets the win party match, and then afterwards, I guess they had Jay White address the complaints. And be like, yeah, I'm fucking Jay White, and yeah, I'm having fun right now, but don't you forget that I can fucking do serious shit anytime I want. And
Yeah.
they left it there. So whatever. Fine little match, solid, good. Like again, there's I don't even mind what they're doing with Jay White because they're obviously building a fucking story. Like Max Caster messed up his rap for what the third time in a row, and like,
Third time in a row.
and obviously at this point, do you not see that this is intentional and it's a storyline that they're doing?
Yes.
Um, and it's a part of what I guess is going to end up splitting these guys up because we've been saying from the beginning, this is not meant to Bang Bang Scissor Gang is not meant to last. It's
No.
just something that they're doing right now. They're having fun with it because everybody's over, but they're going to spin something out of it and they're going to, reheat Jay White and the Bang Bang Gang back up. Come on now. Get with the program, people. We know what's going on. Well, we know what's going on, but we trying to tell y'all. But yeah, this match was fine. It was a good.
Solid goods.
Yes.
Fun little gimmick match for what they try to do here. I mean, I can't, complain too much of it. It's a 0 hour. They want to add people on the card, and I understand that this is the first time that this super group filled with trios and tag team 6-man gold is gonna come out here and do their stuff. A lot of strutting going on, a lot of Karen Jarrett yelling. I'm a little afraid she might have been yelling some spots. Because she was mad loud. I'm like, yo, who's the loudest? Her or Vicky Guerrero? My God.
Excuse me?
I can't complain. It was fun for what it was because again, there's story being told here because this was with Max Caster, not getting his raps in, whether his mic gets cut off or Jay White just gets so hyped next to him that he can't fucking get into the flow, or he gets his flow, he gets his momentum coming, and then all of a sudden he just fucking chokes. Like if it's an 8 Mile rap battle. I'm like, God
He's
damn it, bro,
joking.
get the fuck off the stage.
Real shit. Be ragged out here.
And we do the match. And yeah, this is the one thing that you hit the nail on the head here. And I saw it when JY was cutting his promo. Everybody else was cool with it except for one person. That was Max. Max is sitting there like, yo, I don't think I'm digging this shit right now. I don't know. Something's up. Because he wasn't like, getting all hyped after Jay White cut his promo. He was like, yeah, like you said, he could have fun, get all, goofy and all that stuff. And that's what we were basically, trying to tell everybody, like, yo, not everyone in this business has to be serious. Everyone could be here just to have fun. And if it's something that they're doing that's gonna let them at least have fun, put them on air, then fuck it, let them do what the hell they want.
Yeah.
But this is all to build story. All we're waiting for is Juice to come back from his back injury. Unless that might not be the case, and we're just gonna pull this shit pretty soon, going into Double or Nothing, and we get a huge trios 6-man tag team title unification taking place between these two teams, then I'm with it 100%. I know I didn't talk about the match because I didn't give a fuck about this match, but I'm gonna still give it a goods because I enjoyed the Bang Bang Scissor Gang actually wrestling for the first time. It was fun.
Gang.
And then we got the next match. We had Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, the Long Island Girls, taking on Julia Hart, our TBS champion, and the Dark Sky, who is technically still not a part of the House of Black, but is now starting to wear black. The Dark Sky is now fully transitioned into the darkness. This match was 13 minutes and 30 seconds. All right, TJ, ramble on. So we get to the main card.
Yeah, this was more a story match than anything like this. It's funny. It felt like a Rampage match. I ain't gonna lie. And I say that as a weekly Rampage watcher and someone that actually likes Rampage, and just that this is a match that you would see on Rampage to further a feud that is building toward a bigger point, like a big Dynamite or a pay per view or something like that. But this just happened to be on the 0 hour of a pay per view.
Yes.
But obviously, like we We were talking about it throughout the match. We were talking about it during the match and afterward, before and afterward. Um, it's obvious that this is going somewhere with Willow and Stoke and Chris, in that one may end up turning on the other alongside Stoke, and we're just trying to parse out who.
One of you will turn on each other.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah,
would be like Deltron 3000. I am the mastermind behind all of this. Take that, Don Callis.
Yeah. Maybe it will be Willow, because maybe with Mercedes coming in, they're gonna run it back and they're gonna actually have Willow as a heel this time, because she played heel in the first match, basically.
That played heel, honestly. But
I mean, Mercedes probably was going in to play heel, but she was too over. She was too popular. Like, I remember that. Like, I've watched that match a fair few amount of times. I like that match a lot. We watched that show live, but I've also watched that match back since then. I like that match a lot. Mercedes and Willow. But yeah. What up, Robert? He said Cole and McAfee acknowledged Sting's return.
I was gonna bring that up. So earlier during the I think it was the women's match. So Michael Cole went out of his way, since I know he's been actually getting more free to say more things now. So they mentioned Sting's retirement, and then Pat McAfee was talking about, yeah, it was a night of revolution, and Michael Cole's like, back to this match, Pat. Like, yeah, we can't talk about all that. Oh yeah, it was Gunther and Dom. Oh yeah, Gunther beat the shit out of Dom. So I forgot to tell you that.
Oh damn, why?
Dom died. He got his his upper body, like, fucking vest or gear ripped up just so he can get chopped.
Those goddamn. Well, all right. Well, on the women's match, the Dark Sky and Julia, their presentation, by the way, super fire, super dope. The crowd is way into Julia's entrance, and it's fucking fire. Admittedly, I've seen it in person. You've seen it in person.
Yes.
It's dope as hell. But yes, I'm gonna give this match a solid goods, a high bad, solid low goods.
Now, yeah, this is another one that's like, there's story going on here, because one of these Long Island girls wants the TBS championship. They want Julia Hart. The Dark Sky at this point just feels like a fucking scapegoat. I don't want to say fourth wheel, because she's still technically a part of the story, but last time I checked, you're not in the House of Black, but you're chilling with Julia. Like, y'all actually y'all down with the House of Black. Like, y'all the Coven. Y'all basically the TNA version. Y'all Kylan King and Taylor Wilde right now, but y'all more over than them.
Oh my god.
I enjoy Stokely's commentary here, because I'm really digging what he's like, doing, working with these two women. I understand that Statlander is the main focus, and Willow is basically the distraction behind that focus. So I'm thinking this is why he's trying to get them to separate, but it's also like, who's going to be the one to actually pull the trigger on each other between these two girls? That's really the story right now. And the fact that each and every single second that this match takes place, it gets teased and teased and teased. Not like in a serious way, but you see it within that 3 seconds, and then it's like, all right, back to being friends again, all that other shit. I can honestly say that maybe I'm really hoping that this gets really good going forward. Like you said, this was the Rampage match. This was the match that you would put on the main event if it was necessary. And we could just keep running this match back on Rampage every week. It'd be the Dark Sky versus Statlander, or the Dark Sky versus Willow, or Julia versus Willow, or Julia versus Statlander, or Julia
run all these
versus
matches,
the Dark Sky, or Statlander versus Willow, or Fatal 4-Way. It could just end up being one of those scenarios going forward. The 4-way, it is a logical choice, and I have a feeling that that's what's probably going to be going forward, being booked into Double or Nothing. Because what other option can we see going forward within these four girls? I don't think the Dark Sky is going to be hanging around with Julia Hart forever. I think this is just, because, you're under my spell, blah, 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 and I gave you these gifts. accept these gifts. Join us. I'll give the match solid good.
Yeah. What up, Young Wolf?
What
Robert
up,
says
young wolf?
his match of the night was the three-way. He says it almost reminded him of the Unbreakable three-way. Joe Styles and Daniels. Ooh,
When
that's
we
high
talk
praise.
about, I don't. I mean, that's your analogy. I kind of like that analogy, but I'm thinking sacrifice analogies and Steiner maps.
Ooh, right. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about that later.
We will talk about that later because now it is time for us to get on to the main card as we open up the show with the All Elite Wrestling TNT Championship. Daniel Garcia gets his one-on-one match against the champion Christian Cage with his patriarchy of Kill Switch, Nick Wayne, and Mama Wayne. Hi, Shayna. This match was 16 minutes and 50 seconds. Now we can commence with the main card. Let's ramble on, brother.
Let's do this. Robert says swear bringing up the Coquina Clutch like how AJ broke it. He did do that. I was gonna bring that up later. We're gonna talk about that. But yes, this match. If you were to tell me 15 or even 10 years ago that Christian Cage would be this consistently good in wrestling, I'd probably believe you. But it should not be overlooked. Because like this dude came out of retirement, and I mean like obviously Danielson did it too on like a way bigger scale, and even Edge did it on a bigger scale. But Christian, like I feel like just came out of retirement and is the same damn machine he's always been, and just being able to work with anybody and pull off a really good match and mold anybody into his clay. Like he's that guy. Um, this shit was simple, but I love the pacing on it, and I love the story. Easy story to follow. Um, with Garcia being a really sharp wrestler and taking out Christian's leg. Like when Christian went for the spear and his leg buckled, like the selling on that was really fucking good.
Yes.
And you immediately clicked because the leg work. I liked all that. And then it makes sense to follow that up with Christian having the fail safe in the family and Shayna, and hello Shayna, and Kill Switch and Nick Wayne
Hi,
to
Shayna.
all protect him and protect his TNT championship like you do. But yeah, the less fuckery. I mean, more fuckery. I meant to say than you would like, but it is what it is in that regard. I didn't think it took out detracted too much. I thought this was a solid good and a half.
When Christian Cage turns that shit on, he's on go mode. He's literally on that mode where he never lost it when he first got into the ring. It's like watching him re-debut all over again. And like you said, it's one of those moments that it's like, Christian came out of the brink of retirement. This was a man that had so many concussions throughout his entire WWE career that they just said, no matter if he was cleared or not, they just didn't want him wrestling anymore because of the dangers that he put his own body towards. Since he came into AEW, it's just been green light all day with Christian. He's been, putting on huge matches with guys like Kenny Omega when he won the Impact / TNA World Heavyweight titles from him, main eventing with him and such. He's proven that he could still go even at the age that he's in, and he could still pull off all of the crazy stuff that he once used to do all those years ago. This match here with Daniel Garcia proved that he could still work with guys that he once, that he can wrestle guys that are younger, because it brings back the memories of how he was younger wrestling the older guys in his upcoming wrestling career. All those times that he was Intercontinental Champion, trying to pave the way for the other guys that are trying to make it to the company. Christian has elevated himself in so many ways possible. This match proved that I don't give a fuck if anyone has something to say about the fuckery. Keep it to yourself. I don't care about the amount of fuckery that takes place here. It's a heel thing. Christian's the patriarch. He needs his family. He needs his family to protect him. He needs his family to help him retain that TNT title because that is his one and only prized possession. Again, I know that this faction is the one thing that we all love here, but do you really think that he's just using this faction to get all these other guys over? No, this is all to get him over. This is all to get him as TNT champion over. That's why everyone does all the fuckery for him. He's the cult leader, and Mama Wayne is just his fucking Mother Teresa. All right? That man is a true patriarch, and he's leading that patriarchy full force into AEW. And Daniel Garcia was just that stepping stone because now Christian knows he's still gonna have to face his best friend once again. That's why I was like kind of miffed that like, all right, he didn't show up, he didn't interfere, he didn't come out to help Daniel or any of that shit. And I'm like, all right, maybe he had something to do with like movies of Percy Jackson and all that stuff. I will give this match 3.25 because I always loved Christian with mid-card titles, and he's always made mid-card titles feel worth fighting for. Daniel Garcia is going to be protected overall. I don't care about all the fuckery he had to go to. He's still protected. It didn't hurt him in the long run over the fact that he held his own here. He fought off a dinosaur. He fought off a little kid. He could have fought off Mama Wayne if she would have done some assault shit, but that didn't happen. She just stood there menacingly and hot.
You want a taste? She ain't want a taste.
But yeah, that I also forgot. Daddy Magic, was the one that came in to save the day because again, he and Garcia, they got history together. So I guess that just made the most sense. Got the dinosaur out of the way, take care of the occasion, no more chaos, basically. Yeah, 3.25. I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed it, and I'm really loving Christian's run with the TNT title. I know I shit on it last time when he lost it and then he won it back. I said what I needed to say about that, but then I got over it because now look at him. He's still the same person when he held it the first time. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, he's still a man. And respectfully, the TNT championship is not a mid-card championship, especially not when Christian Cage is holding it.
We go to that. Holy shit! Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson, New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, the Ring of Honor World Championship, and the AEW Continental Crown Championship. If Danielson lost here, he'd had to press R1 on this man. This was 19 minutes and 45 seconds. DJ, talk about this shit.
This was real motherfucking grabs. You understand what I'm saying right now? This is a match built on two legends, their love and respect of the sport of pro wrestling, fighting for the thing that they both have been taught matters more than anything else in this business. Respect. Dragon is the better wrestler. He knows it. Eddie knows it. Everybody knows it. But Dragon fails to understand that shit don't matter to Eddie Kingston because he's never going to stop fighting. And that's what beats him. He even talks about it in the post-match promo, how he knew he fucked Eddie up because he's great at fucking people up. Like he straight up said that. I am great at fucking people up. And I knew I had Eddie fucked up. But he just kept coming back. And that's something that's not just true in wrestling, but it's true in all sports, where on any given night in the pros, the things that separate the best from the rest, it's not just ability, be it God-given or crafted and worked on over years and years. It's heart and it's toughness. Like that can win out over anything else on this higher level because everyone's talented. Like obviously, like I said, Danielson might be the more talented wrestler, so to speak, but Eddie Kingston is equally talented in different ways, and he was able to fight out and show that here. And at the end of the day, that's what earns Danielson's respect in the end, and that's what closes this chapter in such a perfect way. I love this match, if you can't tell. Fucking phenomenal. Two of the best of this shit.
Yes,
Uh,
two of the best.
Equally as great as the last couple of times they faced off, and this with the added cherry of Dragon finally shaking Eddie's hand and giving him his long due, overdue respect. Yeah, this shit damn near a goat. This the highest of bars, the absolute highest.
Damn, you say go and then you just drop that like, god damn. Okay, I'm just gonna say it right now, go.
I
I'm
respect it.
calling it a go. This, bro, you could take away all of the titles that Eddie has right now and just make it be like these two men were fighting for the honor of becoming the purest of pure wrestlers. They were fighting for respect. If the pure title was vacant, they should have went for it without the pure rules. Because the pureness of wrestling is these two men stiffing the shit out of each other, beating the ever-living shit out of each other. Someone getting their fucking head kicked in, somebody getting Kawada kicked, rapid fire chops, fucking back fisted, stretch plums, all that good shit. This is getting a goat. This was a fight for respect because this man is being sick and tired of being called a bum to a man who has won an award named after him several times.
Facts. This
This
man wins
was
his own award all the time.
literally Ring of Honor without the pure rules, just honor and respect here. I have to give this a goat because this is what this was, honor and respect. It's like two samurais duking it out against each other. I enjoyed every single minute that they had. Yo, even before the match took place, the promos that they did in the back, when they had Lexi do an interview with Danielson, and they had Renee do an interview with Eddie, that
Edges is a
shit was
fire.
real. That
That
shit
was
was
fire.
real. And going
Those were
into
fire.
it before, like with the entrances, when and these two men staring at each other, once that bell rung, it was basically real here. There didn't need to be blood, going forward with this. All these motherfuckers need to do was tear each other limb from limb. And I think they accomplished all that because the crowd was hyped as hell. The fact they chanted, "This is awesome, fight forever." Whenever a fight forever chant pops up, something tells me this matches like this end up being a GOAT. And this is one of them. This was the second match on the main card. And we're already kicking it off with a fucking GOAT. I love this match. And the fact that we finally got to see the respect. He finally got the respect from everyone in BCC. He got it from Moxley years ago. He finally got it from Claudio last year when he beat him at Queens. And now he got the respect from Danielson. He don't need to get the respect from that little shit because who the fuck wants to respect that little shit?
Yeah, that little shit got to earn Eddie's respect. Fuck that.
No, he doesn't need to earn his respect. I don't think Eddie will ever respect that little shit.
Nah.
And I think
One
we should keep
day,
it that
one
way.
day he maybe could earn Eddie's respect.
No,
but he has to earn
one
it.
day. But for now, we're just gonna keep it that way that he's not gonna earn his respect yet.
Like you said, Eddie wanted respect from the OGs, the dudes he came up with.
The OGs are what matter because again, like you said in that post promo, it's been 20 years, 20 plus years that Danielson said trying to find greatness in this man. It took him 20 years to finally reach that potential, reach that level. The fact that he finally shook this man's hand, Eddie Kingston finally achieved his goal. He could stop wrestling at this point right now and say, I did it. I did what I needed to do. I got everyone that I had beef with to respect me and shake my hand. I ain't got to do this no more. I'm out. This match is getting a GOAT. Eddie could ride off into the sunset right now if that was the case.
I respect.
Go. All right, that 8-man scramble. Wardlow, Jericho, fuck off. Powerhouse Hobbs, everybody dies. Hook, Brian Cage, Dante Martin, and Nick Aldis.
No, Magnus. from
Yes,
CMLL.
it's Magnus from TNA.
From
Cross the
CMLL.
line. It was
No.
15. All right, this was 15 minutes and 45 seconds. Go ahead, CJ Rumble on.
Okay, yeah, this match was messy. It was a messy affair. Um, Poor Dante Martin, man. This is probably his weakest big match performance. He had a rough night out there. Ain't gonna lie.
Honestly, he did not belong.
I mean, it just I don't know. It's just you have off nights. Off nights
Hold
happen
on,
because
hold
other
on. Before you say, let me get this straight. You
yeah,
mean to tell me that we sat here watching Collision on Saturday? We saw the triple threat between
yes.
Brian Keith, Penta, and Dante. You mean to tell me that you got two guys that have more star power than this tag team, dude? I can say Penta's a tag team, but where's his partner at? Where's his brother? But we're still having this motherfucker in the match? Why?
I mean, listen, it's not like Dante has never had any single success in AEW. He has. He wrestled the world champion once.
I
But
know that, but
yeah,
it
that's what I'm
just
saying.
didn't make any sense
Like
to me.
Dante, like I don't think Dante's as bad a pick for the match as you say it because like yeah, I would have liked to see Brian Keith or Penta in here, but like at the end of the day, neither of them was winning. Wardlow was winning, so yeah, why not give Dante the spot to shine a little bit? I mean, he didn't shine the way you would have wanted him to, but why not give him the opportunity? Like I didn't see the problem with that, but it didn't all click properly on this match. But it's still like again, it's the match still mostly came together in the end. I'm pointing out the messy stuff, but I'm overall like the match. It was fine. Like mostly thanks to this match was supposed to be Meat Madness, and it ended up not being Meat Madness. But we kind of got a little bit of Meat Madness in here anyway, between Archer and Wardlow and Cage and all the big
Cage
guys,
and
and
yeah.
that part of it was really fun. Um, so those guys all kind of came out of the match looking pretty good. I felt like all the big guys, and they it felt like that was what the crowd really wanted to see. So I don't know. Maybe Tony should look into doing some Meat Madness kind of thing when he can. But yeah, I'll give this a high bat.
I mean, Tony Khan had that opportunity right there. You had four meaty guys. I don't understand why you had to add four more guys.
I think he wanted more meaty guys for Meat Madness, but
But
didn't
you had
have.
four of the meatiest men there. Why did Dante need to be? More importantly, why did Jericho need to be there?
He
I mean,
said
I know he was working. And
he
honestly, I'll say
needed
that
more meat, but he didn't have enough meat, so he was just like, "Let me just load in a little bit more stars, then whatever."
Tony Khan, either he went off the rails or he was on the rails.
Nah,
Sorry,
man,
man,
nah.
but this was what did you grade this shit?
A high bat.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think we could agree that this is probably our worst match of the night. Uh,
Probably.
Look, when you scrap one match because apparently there was supposed to be more meaty men here. Keith Lee apparently was cleared, but the only person that was injured throughout the whole thing that was going to get added was Miro. So I get it, but was it necessary for you to actually cancel it if you knew that you were going to add basically the three main heads that were a part of that triple Meat Madness match into the scramble plus Brian Cage? You can get rid of everyone else that doesn't have any meat on their bones or doesn't have the type of mass and muscle or man tits in the world like the other four men that were basically taking over the match. You could have done that instead. We didn't need Jericho. We damn sure didn't need Dante Martin. We didn't need Nick Aldis going through the forbidden door, crossing the
Not
line.
Nick Aldis. God damn it.
And more importantly, we didn't need Hook in this. Hook is a champion already. If you want Hook to go after Samoa Joe, how about you have him go after him in a way that he would go after him? Like, I want my revenge after you done choked my ass out. So
Well, he
now I'm
can't do
ready.
that because he already challenged Joe and he lost. So he gotta. This is how he's gonna get back to challenge him. He's got to win matches. So he is doing what he would do to get back to Joe. Trying to win matches.
was too much. Look, man, I'm gonna
No,
give
it's
it a who
fine.
booked this shit because whatever. It was obvious that Wardlow was gonna win. I was going for Hobbs too to win this because we're building story on like two guys who were former TNT champions that had upstart pushes that just basically got scrapped because reasons. I swear to God, every time I see Tony Khan, I just look at a shadow of Herb Abrams right behind him.
Herb Abrams is going crazy. It's not comparable at all. I don't know why you're even doing that. Anyway, it was big chunks of meat at first, then it was the carnitas.
Look, I was kind of happy to see Jacob the Snake up there. I just
Jake was
kind of
there.
wanted to. I
And a
just
new woo to
wanted
you,
to see
Yoshi.
Yoshi. All I wanted to do was just see a DDT. I didn't
ain't
get
doing
it.
those right now, son.
So honestly, I'm gonna give it a who booked this shit because this match was sloppy. There was too much going on for me to even pay attention. Honestly, I think Bearcat, who was new on the show, said it best. This was the piss break match that everybody should just went and got their concessions for because everybody here on the Ramblemania show wants Jericho to get the fuck off TV for a while. We want that man gone.
He was saying that about the Frater match.
And it's not even it's not even just due to the stupid outlandish accusations that Nick Hausman wanted to go out of his way and say before World's End. No, it's just we're tired of this man and you need to go the fuck away. Who booked this shit? I'm sorry, man. And like you had 4 meaty men. Everyone could have just had the sus shit with all the 4 meaty men there. You didn't need all the extras. All the extras just meant nothing. And the fact that Jericho had to cut a promo with Wardlow that go-home show really pissed me off. Because all Jericho did was basically do a dick measuring contest with himself. Yeah. For the AEW International Championship, Orange Cassidy defending the title against Roderick Strong. The match was 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Before the match even took place, he gets interviewed backstage. We got Doc with them with the best friends. Renee's there. He's telling the best friends, hey, guys, look, stay here. I can't have you guys outside. And then, they have everyone put their hands together like they're Mighty Ducks and like, oh, Ducks. And then, we got the match. Go ahead, TJ. Ramble on.
Boy, let me tell you, I actually like this shit a lot. A whole lot. Like, down from the storytelling elements of Orange Cassidy, the guy who usually starts out matches fucking around and not, really playing around and not caring. Like, he's calm and collected. Not tonight. He opened up with straight fire. He was trying to finish Roddy from go because he knew if I don't beat him immediately, I'm going to get fucked up. And he got fucked up. Roddy picked Orange apart perfectly in this, bro. Like, Orange played his hope spots to perfection. Roddy's the messiah of the backbreaker, bro. Like, when you counter moves and then pull him off missed bumps on the mat and pull him into backbreakers, like, that's different. That's just different. Dropping him off the fucking top of the top turnbuckle, like, it was a perfect dissection of a guy. Like, this is low-key one of my favorite genres of match. A match where a guy goes in and he's got a specific set of injuries. Like, he's got a lot of injuries probably, but he's got a specific set of injuries that a guy who is known for targeting that body part is his opponent. That type of match to me, when oh my god, this guy he's fucked. He's in major trouble. I love that genre of match. I love how this played out. I love how both guys played their roles. Orange, again, like I've said about him so many times, one of the best baby faces, pure baby faces in the game. This is high bars. High bars.
Give me 1 sec real quick. I'm going to be right back. I got to give Amanda some slippers. Hold on.
I do you think. But yeah. We went from meat to back. That's what this was, Young Wolf. This was back shots. Like, I mean, I don't know. My general consensus is that the general consensus I've seen online is that people like this match, but like, I really, really like this match. Like, just again, like I said, that opening stretch for me stood out so much because Orange Cassidy is not the type of guy to do that. So when you see Orange Cassidy coming out trying to finish a match immediately, you know that the urgency is up there. It places the urgency level super high, like right off the rip. So all that put the match in a really high place for me. I liked it. I loved it.
So
High
many
bars.
backbreakers. So many goddamn backbreakers. If you don't know, you don't know. But this man is the actual messiah of the backbreaker. And I think he pulled out like 20 of them onto this man. Holy shit. He literally went after the weakest body part in Orange Cassidy, which was those ribs and the spine, everything. Literally, this is what Roddy was doing this whole freaking time. Where are you? Where are you? There you go.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
I was orange
really,
after the match.
There's really not much to say about it other than the fact that I really was not feeling Orange's second reign. I really wasn't. And it's only because, like I told you when we said this months ago, if he holds on to that title for so long, I feel like it's going to hurt him in the long run. And then the fact that he won it back after he beat Moxley, something tells me that this was gonna fucking happen. And he held it for almost 200 fucking days. He should have lost it sooner than later.
Well,
And
we found the
fact
person.
that he now that we found the person, because now Orange Cassidy doesn't have to feel hurt in the long run, holding on to this shit longer than ever again. The first reign was great. I don't think we needed another one. But I didn't.
No,
I wasn't shitting on it because he was still putting on great matches while defending that belt before he had to lose it to Roddy. He had a
circumstances happen. That's all.
Texas death match. Yeah, circumstances. I get it. Ray got injured. Moxley got concussed. Wins the belt back. Loses it, and it's like, fuck. I mean, I was really hoping that we was gonna have this good Moxley run with the international title, but again, like I said, the same ballet. Nobody perfect. Everybody gets fucked up.
Yeah,
that's just how that shit is. And I mean, Orange Cassidy has put a lot on his body. His body was already on a toll, and I think this is probably the time that he's gonna take some time off as well to heal the fuck up. Honestly, now Roddy holding on to the belt, it's one step closer to the Undisputed Kingdom looking stronger than ever. They got the Ring of Honor tag belts. Or Roddy now got the international title. And then, when we talked about the scramble, Wardlow got his number one contendership. So the Undisputed Kingdom is looking pretty fucking strong throughout this whole pay-per-view. And the last two matches that we just talked about were prime examples of that. So I'm guessing Tony Khan is having a lot of faith in the Undisputed Kingdom going forward. Now we just need to see how this is going to progress going into Double or Nothing. I'm going to give the match a bars. I mean, this was just absolute punishment for Orange Cassidy because we all knew that his body was already on a wear and tear. And he knew he was going to have to put himself through so much grueling pain throughout this match. Again, Roddy pulled out at least, I'd say, 20 plus fucking backbreakers. And that's all it was. Backbreaker, 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 backbreaker. Young Wolf, shut up with your back shots.
Listen, man, that's what he was out here giving them that.
All right. Blackpool Combat Club or the Legion of Doom, Road Warriors, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli to take on Fritter of Dax Harwood and Cass Wheeler. They lost by technical submission. This match was 21 minutes and 50 seconds. Go ahead, TJ, rumble on.
Yeah, Mox and Claudio, they understood the assignment. They came to work a territory tag classic. They was like, we with you, FTR. It's Greensboro. It's Sting's last match. You got to take it back to the 80s for this. So they did a territory tag match, like I said, with long brawling all across the ring, up and down ringside, and blood. Like, I think the match did take a while to get going, but once Dax got busted open, like, just like the territory days, that first hint of blood in the air takes the match to a different level, and the heat goes up and it goes up and up and up until we get to the crescendo at the end. And FTR is really, really good at generating that, and the BCC again was game for that. So yeah, Mox and Claudio, they earned those spikes that they wore in that entrance. That fucking that BCC Doomsday device with Claudio jumping up to the top rope and hitting the Euro uppercut was nasty work. That shit
You
was
know,
cool
my
as
first
hell.
thought was when I first saw them come out with the Road Warrior Legion of Doom knockoff Wish.com canal version of those fucking spikes. My
They
first
were
thought was, who's the Heidenreich here?
Yuta.
He wasn't there though.
He wasn't there, but Yuta is the Heidenreich.
You think he has Tony Khan locked somewhere by him with him all by himself, and he recites poetry to him while whispering in his ear?
Nah, that'd be crazy. I'd be so tight having fucking Yuta talking poetry bullshit. But nah, this match was it was really, really fucking good once it got going. Let me give it a very high good, highest of goods, just under bars.
Once again, you hit the nail on the head here. This was definitely a territorial match. You know, shades of Mid-South, Mid-Atlantic, NWA. You know, again, the Greensboro Coliseum has had a history of, you know, huge ass wrestling events, and mostly was the tag team, Road Warriors. And, you know, again, FTR coming out here looking like fucking brainbusters, like Oli and fucking Tully and shit. So, no, not Oli, Arn. I'm sorry. Why did I say Oli? Rest in peace to Oli, though, by the way.
Yes.
And rest in peace also to one of the Vashons just passed away as well, so I just forgot about that.
Oh yes, rest in peace.
Yes. So yeah, a lot of wrestlers have been passing away. And also Virgil, rest in peace to him as well. Mike Jones.
Yes.
But no, this absolutely had the territorial feel just because of the venue that they were in. You know, with BCC cosplaying as LOD, they were basically the Chicago boys, while, you know, FTR, as we all know them, basically being this generation's four horsemen or brainbusters, they're basically coming in from the South. And because they are originally from the fucking South, they had home field advantage going into this. And then we saw the match, and again, it's one of those where it's like territorial shit. The minute blood starts spewing from someone's head, that's when the feud starts to fucking cook. Like, yeah, there was a little bit of miscommunication starting at the beginning, but I think they picked it up right after, and I knew right then and there that it was just going to get very, very nostalgic. And it was giving me those feels like, yeah, Moxie can actually pull off this type of stuff. I bet he was studying tapes before he was actually getting ready to go compete. Him and Claudio were watching tapes. Danielson gave them tapes to watch. So I could honestly say this was a great homage to the Greensboro Coliseum. This was a great homage to North Carolina, with it being one of the biggest wrestling territories to ever exist, going into the past, present, and today. I could literally say, you know, whether FTR lost, which, you know, we were kind of miffed about, because I think you and I were the only ones that went. No, you went for BCC. Did you?
No, I went for FTR.
Oh yeah, because, you know, we went for the territorial shit because we figured since they're in a territorial area, which has a lot of history, and FTR knows that history, they would get the win. The fact that it was just, you know, how when they both do the submissions and both teams have to submit, it had that vibe because the crowd popped, and I loved it. I love that shit because, again, I know I've said it once, said it 1,000 times. This was the territorial match. This was not just paying homage to Sting, but paying homage to all the promotions that ever came into the Greensboro Coliseum. So, with that respect, with that nostalgia, go.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, but, you know, this had the feels. This had the feels. And, you know, I respect territorial wrestling to a T. And I always liked Mid-South, Mid-Atlantic, and all that other shit. So I always watched those. So, and again, WCW, big example of that too, because they were also like they had that nostalgia feel at the time as well. So I really enjoyed this tag match for what they did here. I love the Gaga that they had, and again, pay homage to the venue that you're in because this is wrestling history that people in 2024 are now witnessing.
Yes.
Timeless Toni Storm defending her AEW Women's World Championship against Deonna Purrazzo. Best friends facing each other with their Joshi history, all because of a duck tattoo. This was 12 minutes, 15 seconds. Go ahead, TJ, ramble on.
Yes. So again, I think the story continues that Tony is still in the stages of finding the balance between her character and applying that to her big matches. Um, but again, I do think this is a step in the right direction. Yes. Also, yes. Shout out to Mariah May, who might have been a better looking Tony Storm than Tony Storm herself. I don't fucking know.
She ribbed us. Honestly, she got ribbed that night. We really thought that was actually Tony Storm coming out to that gimmick. We was actually working out to that shit to find out that we got ribbed.
Yeah,
Fuck you,
yeah.
Russo.
Yo, like shout out Mariah May, just cause shout out. But yeah. I thought they built up the story of I can match your technical wrestling with my own technical wrestling, and yeah, they did do some technical wrestling early on, and I think that's again, like I said before, a step in the right direction of balancing Tony's character out with her gimmick. I think now the issue is though that Tony's character is so like strong and overwhelming. It's one of those that I don't think people buy anyone taking the title off her right now. Like, I don't like. I think they wrestled the match well, but people didn't get with Deonna as the potential person to beat Tony because Tony's just too up right now. She's just too hot.
It could be either that or there are people here that are new to women like Toni Storm and Deonna Purrazzo that don't really know their true history. Even if Tony Khan took the opportunity to actually mention their history, make that the rivalry, make that the story. I don't think people didn't get it. I think they needed to watch their Joshi matches in order to get it. Ren, long time no see, brother. How have you been? Important, good to see you.
It's hard to get behind someone when Tony Khan doesn't book anyone. That's true, but also like he has been booking Deonna at the very least. Like Deonna's been given spots.
And not only that, Deonna just started in All Elite Wrestling. So I mean, not saying that your argument doesn't really mean shit, but
I do agree.
Ever since she debuted, she has been booked. She has been having matches. It's just now, since Tony didn't have anyone to wrestle, they figured they bring Deonna in. They have this angle because this is the money right here. This is the angle. They're friends. They have history. Let's do it.
Yeah, I do agree that generally when Tony has like a champion in the women's division, he'll build her up and then not build people up on the side to face her. But
Yes.
I do think he was starting to rectify that issue with bringing in Deonna and building her up over the past few weeks. But now I think the issue is now Deonna's had her match, Deonna's lost. Now he's back to square one on that. And we know there's someone coming in next week, but how do you also start to balance out the rest of the division with all the other pieces? So yeah, I'm gonna give this match a high bat, low good.
Didn't like it, huh?
I thought it was okay.
So my thing is like watching this. It was really good storytelling. It was really good storytelling because they want to introduce people to the history between these two and all this other shit.
Yeah.
And I respect the fact that a duck tattoo had to be the main purpose of this story because they got that tattoo in Japan. They became best friends when they were wrestling in, Stardom. again, with the Tony Storm entrance is like, I'm looking at Mariah May. I'm like, she looks like a young Tony Storm when she actually debuted in wrestling, which literally caught me
I'm
off
telling
guard.
you, that was uncanny. Like,
And
she
my
looked
thing is
exactly
this,
like Tony Storm. Like, once she like turned her head, I was like, oh, that's Mariah. But like on immediate impact, there's no way you could tell that wasn't
no
Tony
way.
Storm.
There
She
was
looked
no
just
way.
like her.
Like, and that was just so creepy. It's like, holy shit. Like, you two actually really look alike. It's like, I'm looking at two sisters. One's the youngest, being Mariah, and being the oldest, Tony. And I'm like, holy fuck, you guys look like you could be fucking related. I know I'm jumping ahead here, but I'm just gonna say this much. What the fuck is her obsession with Wendy Richter? What the fuck?
I don't know. She wanted to smoke with Wendy Richter. Wendy Richter, I'm gonna fuck you up. You better, you better watch your back.
Like, not gonna say Wendy Richter is gonna,
I'm surprised. What's Wendy Richter doing?
nothing. Just living a normal life.
Tony,
Apparently.
call her. Get her in here.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just wanted to get that out of the way. The match, though, I was having fun with it. I mean, I know you with the grade that you gave it. I know you had your reasons.
I didn't dislike the match. I liked the match. I just, I didn't,
You didn't feel like it again, it's just like you said.
Yeah, again,
once he was done, what's next?
Yeah, it felt like a what's next kind of thing. It didn't feel like Deanna. The crowd was invested in her to that point where they felt like she could be the one.
But
to beat
then
Tony.
I also have to ask you that question, like, with big business coming up and all that shit, with who's going to be making her appearance and whatnot. If she loses, who's next?
Then that's again big question. It's back to square one.
And again, I think this is why we complained about this. Going into the whole week is the ranking system is gone, and it's like, what the fuck?
Well, Tony
have all these
mentioned
women,
it,
but that's in the media scrum. Still, it's not on the website, so we don't know who's the top one women.
They got to drop the rankings
going
tomorrow.
Forward. At this point, it looks like the next person that's going to be facing Tony, if Mercedes is not going to be in the title picture, it's most likely going to be Thunder Rosa. Because if we all remember, she had to vacate her belt due to the fact that she was being bullied by a bunch of other women, due to the fact that they said, oh, she sandbags and all that stuff, and injuries.
Yeah.
But she never technically lost the belt. So it's like, again, it's like, all right, after Mercedes, it'll be Thunder Rosa. But then after Thunder Rosa, if she doesn't win, who's next? But then it's like, after Thunder Rosa wins, who's next? Serena Deeb? Okay. But then after that, who's next? And I think that's always going to be the main issue that we always tell ourselves with the women's division and Tony.
Well, that's why hopefully they continue to, like I said, build up talent along the side, so that the division continues to fill out like this. Because now we got a few names building up. We got a few names,
but again,
we just need to stay consistent with them.
The problem, the consistency, yes, but the problem overall is who's the top one female right now? Where are the rankings for everyone in the division? Where are they?
Yeah, they got to bring the rankings back. That's all.
We gotta
get the rankings back up
and
here.
that's always going to be the issue going forward. When you brought it back at the end of January, we were all fucking excited because now we're going to progress into people who are at the top of their game with their win-loss records, because now we're back to win-loss records matter. 2 weeks later, it's fucking gone. And this is going to be the problem. And I feel like, again, this is going to be the issue going with the women's division, because like we said, who the fuck's going to be next after the next victim?
We're gonna figure it out. The rankings will be back. They will be back soon.
I'm gonna give the match a good. It was still pretty good, enjoyable match. I had fun with it. There wasn't any bullshit, no cookie sheets under Tony's ass where the ref doesn't see it.
Yeah,
I still have vivid nightmares of that moment of Aubrey Edwards seeing a cookie sheet but pretending that she doesn't see it. It was so fucking weird.
They played Aubrey on that. They did bring up Stephanie Vaquer at the presser. They did in the scrum.
Oh yeah, that's another one too. But she's never really has she wrestled in AEW?
She's never wrestled in AEW, but
We've seen her in Japan. We've seen her in the Multiverse United with New Japan and
because
Impact.
she's in CMLL, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's. I thought she was AAA, but yeah, you're right. She is CMLL.
She's
That makes
CMLL
sense.
now. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got all the good shit out of the way. I think from here on, then this is where all the. I'm probably just gonna change one of the ratings from Meltzer shit to Wade Keller shit because at this point, fuck Meltzer.
I mean, Meltzer's that. Yeah.
Now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty of the final 3 matches here because this is where shit just gets interesting. The longest match of the night, Will Ospreay making his Revolution AEW debut, taking on his faction member of the Don Callis family, Takeshita Konosuke. 22 minutes flat. TJ, go.
Listen, man, this was a showcase match. This was hoopers hooping type shit. This was two of the best in the world, perhaps two of the future top stars in this very company, going bar for bar, more or less. Center ring. Like, what's this shit got going, bro? Like, absolutely nutty type shit. That Blue Thunder Bomb reversal was one of the best Blue Thunder Bomb reversals I've ever seen in my life. Will Ospreay's not a small dude, by the way. He can move.
Not.
He's an incredible athlete and can move in a special way, but he's not small. And Takeshita caught him in midair and spun him like he was small. I'm like, bro.
You want to see a small ass Will Ospreay? Go look at his match with him and Ricochet in 2016.
Yeah, them boys are dogs, man. Fucking Tiger Driver 91. Are you kidding me? What the fuck going on out here, man? And then like, people are gonna make discourse about the ending spot where they popped out of where and Ospreay popped up and no sold the driver and popped out with the hidden blade. But like, have you not heard of adrenaline? This is what happens in these types of matches. Motherfuckers get powered up on adrenaline, and after the pinfall, they're down for like 2 whole minutes. Yep. That's when the selling comes in. The adrenaline goes away. That's the point. In the midst of, have you not ever been in the midst of a game or of a fight? If you've ever done anything athletic or anything like that, where you might feel a little bit of pain, but that shit don't matter right now because in the moment you fired up, you got to get the job done. So that's all that is. That's all that is. If you can't relate to that, I don't know. Pick up a ball. Go play some sports or something. I don't know. Dude, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. Because I understand what's going on here. I couldn't believe this is their first match. Yeah. Never faced each other, these two, apparently. Never faced each other before. Like, and they just came out like these two, like they've been rivals for years, coming out banging like this. The chemistry was insane off the rip, and you can see Ospreay's excited to do that type of shit with like everybody in his company. If you watched him in the scrum, he's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to fucking do this and also retire Billy Gunn." Tony Khan looked at him like, "What?" But yeah, this match was incredible, dude. Highest of bars off the rip. Have you not heard of adrenaline? It's in the soul. Yeah, it's in the damn soul. It's not just a lyric in Cody Rhodes' song.
Will Ospreay showing the whole world why he is all elite and all elite wrestling, because this was an all elite matchup, a dream match for the ages, a match of the year caliber between two of the best Japanese competitors to ever exist here. One from New Japan, who was finally finished with that company, and one from DDT. And with those two companies, they pull out, I can honestly say, the craziest shit, the craziest spots, the craziest matchups ever. If y'all have not watched Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and DDT, stop watching this video right now. Actually, no. Wait till this shit is over for you to go actually watch that DDT match between Omega and Ibushi. If you have not seen Will Ospreay and Ricochet pull out some crazy shit that got everyone from back in the day talking shit about their wrestling style, wait till this video's over for you to go watch that shit. Okay? The fact that we got both of that between these two competitors here. AEW may have won. The fans may have won. People who were streaming live on social media, watching this pay-per-view, watching that match may have won. But Don Callis is the ultimate winner overall.
That's
he
right.
Got to sit back and relax and watch two of his boys beat the ever-living shit out of each other. Like they owe each other money. Victor. Like one of them cheated on each other with their girl or whatever. What the fuck? And then all of a sudden at the end of the match, it's just, I know we beat the shit out of each other, but we're back to being family. Yo, this man took a brain buster off the top rope and his back was bolted like a motherfucker. Holy shit. And again, pulling on all the stops, the Tiger Driver, Oz Cutter, Stormbreaker, all that shit. Konosuke being Konosuke, looking like Kota Ibushi on Murder Mode 10 years, fucking 10 years ago and shit. Yo. So 6 had our boy Raul at his house watching the show. And the first thing that I told 6 to tell Raul was, yo, be prepared for what you are about to see. Because none of us are prepared for what we are about to see ourselves. Because this is the first time that we're seeing two of these men compete in All Elite Wrestling on pay-per-view. And everybody won. Didn't matter if Konosuke Takeshita lost. Didn't matter if Will Ospreay won. They are all winners. The Don Callis family are winners. And this Wednesday, we're going to see United Empire face off against each other as Will Ospreay faces his United Empire fucking mate and Kyle Fletcher. And that shit is going to cook like a motherfucker. This match cooked. The crowd cooked. Don Callis cooked. We were fucking cooked. This match is a goat.
Shit went crazy.
Suck my dick.
I could agree with that point, Ren. I actually like that point. Because Hazel was kind of making that point when we were watching the match, and that this is a good introduction point for anyone who's trying to get into what the great Japanese wrestlers of the modern day can do. And obviously these are two of the guys that were over in Japan ripping shit up for years and are over here now showing it. So,
this was better than Kenny and Ospreay at Forbidden Door.
That's crazy. I don't know.
First Wrestle Kingdom match for the U.S.
I don't know about that. That's crazy. I don't know. That's crazy. That's a crazy statement. That's a crazy statement. I don't know.
It may sound crazy, but I'm damn sure crazy enough to say it.
That's a wild statement. I don't know.
Goat. Oh my God.
This man Raul was like, grab his dick and twist it. He was.
I mean, for God's sakes, I came. This shit was fucking awesome.
For God's sakes, I came.
It's like this, the Continental Crown Championship match, and the tag match. I'm talking about FTR and fucking BCC. Yo, they were fucking pulling out all of the stops here. I think they wanted to impress. I think they were trying to convince Sting to stay one last time. Like, see,
Sting, look at how we rock it. You sure you ain't got one more?
You sure you don't want it? You sure you
Wembley again?
Like, we might need you. We'll play that Seek and Destroy one final time last time.
Nah, Sting got the rock out. He's good.
You take your 33 and a third chance, and you got Samoa Joe taking on Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland in a triple threat match for the AEW World Championship. This was 19 minutes and 40 seconds, and the numbers don't lie because they spelled disaster for Hangman at Revolution. TJ, ramble on.
Yes. I really like this match a lot more than a lot of people out there, I think. I thought it was a super well-told story in what was, frankly, a tough spot for these dudes to be in, following that Ospreay Takeshita match and going before the Sting match. Like, you're in between those two situations, having to put on your own banger of a match, and these guys were up for the task, bro. Like the story again was set perfectly, and they played it out very well. Loved how unhinged Hangman was throughout. Like again, even on his entrance, he's coming out, his pyro's going off. He's not posing or anything. He's just walking straight to the ring, marching, just yelling at niggas like, "I'm fucking up tired of shit. Fuck you, Swerve." He's lost it, absolutely lost it. Even in this match, the match is structured. This match around basically Swerve wants to be the world champion more than anything, and it's structured around getting the crowd invested in that. They want Swerve to be the world champion, and Hangman is just no. He don't give a fuck about what happens to him or anybody else, but he has to stop Swerve from winning the world title. He wasn't trying to win this match. He was just trying to make sure Swerve lost it. That was Hangman's entire MO in this match. He had supreme hater energy. And Joe, the whole time, I love how Joe was able to like slip in and kind of play the third wheel in a triple threat without like really being a third wheel. He was still imposing. He was still a badass. And he eked out without looking like a coward, which is hard to do. But Samoa fucking Joe, another day at the office for him. This match gets a bars. I enjoyed this a lot. A lot.
Man, Robert went out of his way in the chat to say that this was basically the unbreakable match that I saw all those years ago. And I'm like, wait, so you mean to tell me that Swerve was Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles was Hangman Adam Page? Because holy fucking shit. I mean, yeah, it kind of gave me that unbreakable triple threat vibe, but it wasn't all there because, like you said, Hangman had a motive. His motive was just not him, going after the world title. His motive was to make sure that Swerve don't go out there winning the world title. That's why he did everything in his power, quite possibly, to make sure he didn't win. Meanwhile, Joe is being Joe, doing Joe things and just destroying people one by one. I enjoyed all of this. This was Joe's first defense as champion, I'm sorry, not his first. This is just like second. His first defense was against Hook. So, we got to have Joe going out here looking pretty strong, but we also got to build these two guys because their story was stronger than ever. Honestly, I am hoping that after this triple threat, like we're done, that we're done with the Swerve and Hangman stuff because after the Texas Death, I thought we were going to be done with that. Actually, no, after the fucking one-on-one that they had on Dynamite and they had the draw and they were like 5 more minutes, I'm like, yo, this should have just ended right there. But that's why they had to do the triple threat since there was no decisive winner. And, Hangman was the one that basically submitted through the Coquina clutch. I did like that counter that Swerve did with the Coquina, trying to counter the Coquina clutch, though. That shit was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody was Christopher Daniels in this match, it was probably Hangman. If he would have been the guy to have a "stop kicking me" moment. Remember when they were kicking Daniels and then Unbreakable?
Yeah, but Hangman was on his Magnum TA Roid Rage mode, so I could only really say that he was literally going crazy. He was pretty much looking more unhinged than anyone in this match. And, the one person that I would say would probably be the most unhinged because he needs this more than ever is fucking Swerve.
Yeah, like they're both driving each other crazy. Swerve he's obsessed with getting that world title, and now Hangman is obsessed with preventing Swerve from getting the world title.
So now I feel like this isn't over. I feel like we're gonna end this at Double or Nothing, but how? How can we end Swerve and Hangman? How can we end this rivalry? We've already done a singles match. We already did the Texas Death. We already did the time limit draw on free TV. What the fuck do we have to do to finally put an end to this shit? Do we gotta lock them inside of a steel cage or something?
I mean, if it were me, that would be the call. Like, you give them one more match to define it, because again, like you said, the last one didn't have a definitive winner. So you give them one more to have a definitive winner. Winner of that goes on, and obviously it will be Swerve. Winner of that goes on to face Joe at Double or Nothing. And
oh no, that can't even happen because Joe got an opponent already and Wardlow.
That's 4 Double or Nothing. I thought that was just any time.
The winner gets a world title shot, so I'm hoping that it's gonna be going to Double or Nothing. That they don't just fucking give Wardlow a shot 2 weeks later and then he just fucking loses. Like we got to start building him up. Remember, the man fucked up his knee due to a powerbomb that he was gonna give to Commander.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying.
How about we let this man, heal that fucking knee up while he's still putting in work, and then we build that shit going into the pay-per-view. Because we gotta remember, this man was the TNT champion. He lost the belt to Joe. And the rivalry that the little history that they have as a tag team, too. We gotta bring that back up. Man was the War Dog. So
that's what I'm saying. You got time if you want to hold off on Wardlow. That's what I'm saying. You could hold off on Wardlow for
not even Double or Nothing. Because what the fuck are we talking about? New AEW show coming out called Dynasty.
Oh, the Dynasty show is April, right?
Yes, it's like 2 weeks after Mania.
So, all right, look, maybe Wardlow. Wardlow faces him in Dynasty then, maybe.
And again, this is one of the things that we were talking about last year going into the beginning of the new year is that, with Tony Khan adding new pay-per-views, there's a possibility that, the fucking Rampage, Collision, Dynamite could be leaving Turner going into HBO Max, Warner Brothers Media and all that other shit. They got the show All Access there. Why not utilize this opportunity? People are already paying, almost $30 a month for Hulu because you got HBO and Disney Plus. Niggas don't gotta pay for the pay-per-view if it's gonna be on HBO Max.
Well, hopefully that's something that Tony's in the process of working on. So
I'm hoping so as well. Wow, that cat went wild. This is one thing that we just been predicting that could be the possibility since now we just found out after Janelle Grant wants to put out her fucking lawsuit about being defecated by Vince McMahon. Raw is about to go to Netflix for $5 billion.
Yep, well, piece of shit company over there.
Well,
we ain't pressed about that.
Apparently, wrestling is cool because The Rock. Main event time. This is Sting's retirement match. And he is going out with a bang here in a tornado tag team match as they defend the AEW World Tag Team Champions Darby Allin and Sting one last time, taking on Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, those young fucks. This was 21 minutes and 3 seconds. TJ, for the Stinger, let's bring this home the right way.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to go down the rabbit hole of retirement matches to really judge it, but Tony Khan called it the best retirement match ever, and I'm hard pressed to find anything that could be better off the top of my head. This was the perfect way to send Sting off. Like, it's like I've seen it said already, and I'll agree and add to it that if there is nothing else you can say positively about AEW, they booked Sting perfectly. Every step of the way. Every step of the way, from the moment he showed up on the Winners Coming Dynamite to last night at Revolution. Perfect. Batted 1,000 with Sting. That's maybe Tony Khan's greatest accomplishment as a booker and as someone in this pro wrestling industry. The justice that he gave one of pro wrestling's great legends. And this match was the perfect cap to that. Like I said during it, the Young Bucks were the perfect opponents. The perfect opponents. Again, Sting ended undefeated, 29-0 in his AEW run. And the Young Bucks were the last to fall to him, and they did it perfectly. Like I knew they would. Like I knew they would understand the assignment. I knew when they were chosen, when they were announced as Sting's last opponents, that Well, that makes sense. Who else is gonna take a fucking clothesline from Sting and go inside out 2 times over? The Young Bucks. Only the Young Bucks are gonna be able to get that crowd fired up, that Greensboro crowd fired up classic style, and be able to pop in with that smarmy heel bullshit that when Sting fires back as the hero that we all watched from all of our childhoods, from when we were kids, from when our uncles and dads and they were kids, when our nephews and nieces when they were kids, we all had Sting in our life, beating up these goofball ass bad guys in the middle of the wrestling ring. And the Young Bucks played that to a T for the last time. They were the perfect goofball bad guys for Sting to fuck up. And I mean, he went a little crazy. He brought out real glass. Go cry me a river.
Real glass.
Go cry. Fucking Jack Perry was watching like, yeah.
He's saying that now because Punk's not in the company. I'm like, yeah, I got that motherfucker out. Now he can definitely go cry me a river, bitch.
Yeah. So I mean, and Sting being the one to fucking take one because he's a nut and the spot off the ladder and the ultimate. We're not sorry. We hate you. And they super kick him, and Sting just takes that shit on the chin and slowly rises up.
Those "we hate you" chants, I needed that so much because you gotta understand. Going into this shit emotional, like physically and mentally, because holy fuck, my hero is about to be done. Be done with this.
Yeah.
So when I got to hear those "we hate you" chants, I just started bawling. Like I needed that because fuck these fucking guys. Fuck. Hate you. Fuck. But then at the same time, I'm like, yo, Bret Hart must be getting his dick hard right now after seeing Sting go through some real glass.
Yeah, go cry me a river. But I mean, of course, top to bottom, from the opening video package, chronicling his career and running everything down. The final showtime with Sting just watching on in the empty theater. His sons, Surfer Sting's son, looked just like him. Like,
Oh
that's
my
fucking
God.
crazy.
It's so crazy that go ahead, continue. I'm gonna
Like, they both, his sons both look like him, but Surfer Sting, he had the same build and all that. I was like, yo, that's fucking Sting. What the hell? It was almost like fucking, if not for the fact that I know Sting doesn't, his body don't look like that no more, but it was almost like fucking Mariah playing Tony earlier too. I was like, yo, he dressed up in Surfer Sting? For a split second, I was wondering because it looked just like him. But awesome entrance with his sons, and then his sons doing the stinger splashes early on in the match. Like, I can't say enough superlatives on it, to distill how perfect a send off it was. Like, not just for Sting, but like the show on the whole in this match. It just felt like, and I guess that's sort of an extension. Excuse me. Sort of an extension of what Sting is. He was like one of the last faces of the territory days, of the WCW, of the NWA, of those types of days before WWE took over with their monopoly in 2001. The last real guy we had that was a top guy in a different organization, a major organization, was Sting. And we saw that with, like, obviously we've had our problems with Ric Flair because of what he's done and what's going on with him. But when it comes to the career of Sting, obviously Ric Flair is someone who was very important to that and helped put him over in that very building many times. So to have him out there made sense. Ricky Steamboat, Magnum TA, Luger was out there in the crowd, DDP. Like, it felt like a celebration of not only just Sting, but of the era that Sting came from, of the place in the territory that Sting came from. And for that, you got to be thankful toward AEW and toward TK for paying respect to that. Because again, within the WWE monopoly, we lost so much of that over the years.
Yep.
Like, motherfuckers don't even talk about Magnum TA. And he was a major star, as big as anyone in fucking wrestling nowadays. You think about Magnum TA was a major star before the plane crash. And you know, just to see
Not
him
even
at
the plane
ringside.
crash, the motorcycle accident.
Yeah. It was Flair that had the plane crash.
Yeah.
But yeah, like major, like to have that era of history represented and respected, I think is something that we can't take for granted. So, the match on the whole, a goat, obviously a goat. Like it was a perfect distillation of Sting paying homage to his career and in a crazy way to his AEW run, where yeah, I came to AEW in my 60s and just started doing a bunch of crazy shit. How about in my last match, I bring out real glass? So yeah,
Like, you know what? I'm gonna just pay homage to New Jack one last time before I ride off into the fucking sunset.
you did that shit, Stinger. You did that shit.
Goat, you said?
Go.
All right, you know what? This shit hit me in the feels. Y'all probably saw me cry, which, I don't really like to do that. I've only done that maybe like 3 or 4 fucking times at this point.
That
But
shit
this
real,
was
man.
Sting.
Yeah.
This was Sting we're talking about. This was the man that I started watching growing up. Again, I started watching wrestling with WCW. I watched Surfer Sting. I watched him win the WCW title, the WCW International title, which was also the world title, when Ric Flair took his big gold belt to the World Wrestling Federation. I watched that man progress and grow and flourish. And after watching The Crow, he was just so obsessed with becoming Brandon Lee that he just brought Brandon Lee to life on Turner Broadcasting Network. And all he did was just stand there menacingly for those 18 months, just looking at the NWO, knowing that they were going to fucking be destroyed. I've seen this man's TNA career. Sting was the reason why I was watching TNA. I could say, okay, the X Division was one of them, the Knockouts, but it was also Sting because he was still going. This was the guy that I was telling myself he's never going to WWE. And if he does, I probably would mark out the exact same way that I'm marking out. And I'll never forget it. I'm running to my boy's house and I'm like, yo, Sting's coming to WWE Survivor Series. And they were all like, you're full of shit. You're lying. And then that crow sound came up. And I'm like, Raven? Like, it's Sting. And I'm like, I told you. I fucking told you. No, I didn't want to listen. Everyone had that reaction like, how the fuck did you know? I'm like, I just know this shit. Bro,
I just be knowing.
I've watched this man with my little brother. I've watched this man with various cousins. My grandfather, my grandmother. Watch this shit with my aunt, my mom, my stepdad. I can honestly say I've watched Sting wrestle with my entire family. I watched the commercial where he wrestled a little kid in Sprite. Like, I'm from the Dream Come True Foundation contest. You ready to wrestle? I watched all of that shit. I even got a fucking NWO Wolfpack action figures thing. I just don't want to pull it out because that shit's in my trunk. And if I open that trunk, that fucker is going to come out and I'm not having them take over my shelf.
Yeah, no, I'm right.
This match. Darby. You gave Rob Black a hard on. And you gave Brett Lauderdale a hard on. Who's going to call you first? Because holy shit, I think they want to put you in a pane glass match. Because fucking hell, Jeff Hardy ladder jumps 30 feet off of the air, lands on 6 chairs, and on some glass. Bro, everybody thought he was dead. He didn't get up throughout the whole match. And it was just basically a handicap match going forward until we were going into like 5 minutes to bringing it home is when this man started coming alive. Holy fucking shit. This match was sick. It was menacing. It was torturing. But more importantly, it was Sting's last match. To see Sting go through a pane of glass at his age in his mid-60s, bravo. I saw you jump off a balcony. All right? We all saw you jump off a balcony, and we were going ape shit when that happened. Onto 4 tables to Andrade. We remember that shit. Right. We're going to remember every single thing that you've done within the 3 years of AEW.
I got to see him wrestle for Turd. Live.
31 matches that you had. I didn't get to see him live in Boston, but he was there. He was there, but I didn't get to see him wrestle. But it was cool to see him. And I got to actually see my hero live for the first time. That was so fucking cool. I just wish that at that moment when I was at floor seats, he could have came around, gave everyone a high five, and I would have just got my picture right there. I would have been so fucking happy. I'd be like, yo, I'm not going to stop talking about this ever again. I'll talk about it till I die. I love this match, and this match gave me the feels. The entrances were amazing. His sons actually looking like him as Surfer Sting, as Wolfpack Sting, and I was just with it on all of it. And then Seek and Destroy played, and we just went livid. At this point, all of our apartments became unglued because we were marking out to the rafters. Honestly, I kind of wanted Sting to come out from the rafters again one final time. But
that would have been crazy. Yeah, we got it on Dynamite, though. We got it on
Dynamite, so I think that was more than enough.
They did that shit, man.
I know I haven't said anything about these young fucks because what is there for me to say about them? They did their thing, they did their stuff, and I'm just going to say that. Ric Flair can go fuck off. Stop doing spots. Yeah, dumbass.
He was fine. His spots were fine. I was fine.
Shout out to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He was there. Lex Luger was there. I was still pretty miffed that Triple H was like, no, you're not going to go see your best friend wrestle. You work for us, bitch. You're my best friend. You stay here. I was kind of fucked up because they're like, yo, they WCW history. Come on, man. Wolfpack. Got to do it.
Yeah, man.
But I know he probably FaceTimed and was like, yo, I just saw the match. I'm so proud of you. But why are you going through pane glass, though?
Why you fucking going through glass, man? I hope you got paid for that shit.
This is all I'm going to say before I give my overall grading for this match. I know we're going a little bit long here, but this was necessary since I'm not watching Raw. I grew up with this man for many, many years. Many years. I watched him grow. I watched him succeed. I watched him fail. I've seen his documentaries. I collected his figures. I had the t-shirts when I was a kid. Me and my family used to watch this man. If it was an Undertaker, it was Sting. And when Sting was in WWE, I was kind of waiting for that match to happen because you had them right there. You had them right there.
Right there.
Fuck you, Vince. Now I hope you croak.
Clown company.
And then, you know, to see him in AEW finally get one more. The Hall of Fame speech, when he said, I just want you to know this isn't goodbye. This is see you later. He meant it because 6 years later, no, like 4 or 6 years later, after that, here he is in All Elite Wrestling. Here he is teaming up with Darby Allin. His first match, Revolution. His last match being in Revolution. This was everything that I ever needed from this man's entire wrestling career. Thank you, Steve Borden. Thank you, Sting. Thank you for all the memories. You could ride off into the sunset now, knowing that you've done everything that you needed to do. I was happy that they got this win. I'm not going to say you guys didn't believe me on this, but I had that feeling because they knew they were not going to have Sting right off with a defeat here. We were at Greensboro. This is home to Sting. This is life to Sting. This is everything to the fans, to everyone that came out to pay homage to Sting. And this is for Mid-South. This is for Mid-Atlantic. This is for WCW. This is for TNA. This is for AEW. 7-star Wade Keller shit.
Oh my God, 7 stars. that's real stuff.
Again, I don't need to say anything about the Young Bucks because they did what they needed to do. They got what they had to get off their chest, and they fucking got jeered by the crowd. I was waiting for the "We Hate You" chants. You know how badly I wanted to chant that shit for a long time? Finally, it's coming. And it happened. And it fucking got me tearing. This whole match had me crying. And there's no fucking way anyone's going to top the rating that I have. Meltzer could say whatever the fuck he wants, whatever rating he wants. Wade Keller, he could probably give it a fair rating. Jim Cornette will probably get his dick hard giving it the highest rating possible. And Brian Last will be there with him stroking it.
I don't care what them losers say.
This meant a lot to me. This meant a lot to TJ. This meant a lot to everyone that joined us on this stream because everyone grew up with Sting. Everyone loves Sting. Everyone worships Sting. Everyone respects Sting. And we have to thank him very much for all the years, for all the bumps, for all the sacrifices, all the blood you spilled, and all the championships that you won from the mid-'80s going on to ending it in the mid-2020s. What a long tenured career. I'm going to steal something from Vegeta real quick, like he said to Jiren. What a fucking great warrior. What a great warrior Sting was.
He was.
Best match of the night, overall grade. I think we all know what was the worst match, and it wasn't the women's.
Nah. My match of the night, I'm gonna go with the main. I'm gonna go with the main. I mean, you could really go with either Osprey Takeshita, or you could go with Dragon and Kingston. All those are fair, but I think we were all here primarily for Sting to send him off into the sunset, and it was done in the best possible fashion you could. So that and like I said earlier, this event was a celebration of Sting, a celebration of great wrestling, and as an extension of that, a celebration of a lot of the territorial wrestling that Sting came from that was lost to time, that we keep alive through memories and all of our as fans love and respect of the game. So 8 plus bars. This is one of the best shows AEW's ever done. Like, this is up there with All Out 2021, Revolution 2020, Revolution 20, last year's Revolution, one of the best shows they ever did. Like, this is up there. This is in that pantheon of all-time great AEW shows. So, yeah.
This indeed was. Best match of the night overall. I mean, I'm going to cheat on this one. I have to cheat on this one. I'm going to give it to 2 matches. One of them was the main event, but the other one is going to go to Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson. That's like the second place match. That would have been the top one because holy fuck, that was a match. That was a fight. That was one hell of an honorable wrestling match that those two put out there. But the main event, I know I shouldn't be saying that because the Young Bucks are in this match. I shouldn't be giving them any sort of credit, but I have to because they did their part here. I may shit on them, but they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. And I know, yes, that may sound hypocritical for me to say, but who fucking cares? Everybody's a hypocrite in wrestling.
No, like,
I think everyone needs to realize that.
You understand what goes into a great pro wrestling performance, and you understand that the Young Bucks had their roles to play in this match, and they played them perfectly. Like, they were there for Sting to fucking beat up and, like I said, be the man that we all have known him to be for 40 fucking years.
If this main event does not end up on somebody's top 10 wrestling list of 2024, even if it doesn't become an honorable mention, you shouldn't be doing a wrestling list to begin with, because this was it right here. This is paying homage to a wrestling legend, a Hall of Famer, a TNA Hall of Famer, a WCW Hall of Famer, a WWE Hall of Famer, a man who has done it all for, I don't know, 40 plus years in this business. He's carried a lot of guys in this company. He's put them over. He's gotten himself over. He's won championships throughout his entire run. And the last belt that he wins, he retains, to find out just hours later that right after the match, the show was over, the belts became vacant. Now, the biggest negative overall, since I just now brought it up, when he had the mic, he was about to cut the promo. If everyone saw the footage on social media and everything else, you all saw what happened. But I'm guessing they were running low on time, and I'm guessing the reason to that will have to be, and I know this seems selfish for me to blame, I'm going to blame the scramble for this. I don't think this match needed to be on the card. I think if you would have taken away those 15 minutes and 45 seconds, you would have gave Sting maybe 8 minutes of time to talk on air before we brought it home officially. And I think we could have got rid of that scramble match to do all that.
Listen, man, WCW was always known for going off the air too early, running out of time. That was Tony's thing. Run out of time, fans. And Sting was the ultimate WCW guy. So, you know what? It's a fitting way for him to go out. Fuck it.
I'm giving Revolution 2024. This show is getting a 4 point. No, this show is getting 4 3/4 stars. I would have gave it a go if I didn't give one match a who booked this shit, which was the scramble.
Yeah, you hated the scramble.
I fucking hated this. This should have been madness.
I hate the scramble. You hated it.
Fucking hated this. This is stupid. It was so sloppy. It was so horrible. No, it wasn't that horrible. They had some stuff, but it had too much going on. But like I said earlier, this might be a recurring thing going forward. After pay-per-views, we might not. I'm just not gonna go live for Raw because I just rather do this just to get it out of the way. We could just have an early head start. So next time we do this, we'll be going into WrestleMania. Twin is now the 5-time Ramblemania heavyweight champion after he beat me in another exploding barbed wire deathmatch sim, which apparently I just can't fucking win at this point.
The tribal chief.
Every exploding barbed wire deathmatch, I have not won. But the next title defense will be at Mania. So stick around for that. That is 1 month away. 1 month away, and we're going to have some fun indeed. Maybe we'll have something interesting going forward throughout the both nights. But it looks like there has been enough talk here on the Ramblemania show and on the Raw Zone NYC podcast, for it is time to bring it home here. Great one. It is now time to tell all the Ramblemaniacs, all the BC aliens, where to find us.
Indeed, yeah. You already know where to find us. Find us on Instagram at Ramblemania Show and at Banter Club Podcast. Find us on Twitter at Ramblemania, Facebook.com/Ramblemania Show. Also find our group there, Ramblemania Show's Banter Club, where we and the other wrestlers and podcasters and everybody we associate with post all our goings on and all that's going down. For our audio, we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, everywhere podcasts are found. Search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. As far as visuals, twitch.tv/Ramblemania Show. We are on Spotify video. We are on YouTube. Search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. When you get here, like the videos, click subscribe, click the bell so that when the new content drops, it goes straight to you. So for me personally, find me on Instagram at TJ the Great One. That's TJ the GR, the number 8, the number 1. Find me on Twitter at TJ the Great. That's TJ the GR, the number 8. It's as simple as that.
TJ the Great. TJ the Great.
You damn right.
You can find me on Instagram at iZombies, IIZOMBIIES. Z, we will see you guys tomorrow for Come Tuesday TV, Ramble City, the Basement Edition, where we will be presenting more gangster rap and more gangster freestyles that took place in Big Tigger's basement on BET. So stick around for that on Twitch and stick around for all the other streams that we got coming up throughout the week. For TJ the Great, I'm Hazel the iZombie. This has been our AEW Revolution 2024 recap here on the Ramblemania Show and on the Raw Zone NYC podcast. We would like to wish all of you out there a pointing goodies.
Yes, sir.
A too sweet.
And a good fight and a good night.
Yeah!